Hey guys, Kris here. In this video, I'm going to walk you guys through all the specs and options of my brand new Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo. So a lot of you guys have been asking me to make this video ever since I took delivery of this car a few weeks ago. If you haven't seen that delivery video, it will be linked in the description box down below. And also, if you're new here, my name is Kris. I have this channel dedicated to testing EVs. I do range tests, I do reviews and charging tests and a whole bunch of other EV videos here on the channel. I also do things like this where I go out and purchase an EV and bring you guys along on the ownership experience. This is actually my third EV in the past 1.5 years. And also, if you are new here, if you like the content, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And also, lastly, hit that like button. That is much appreciated. So thank you very much. So as I said, I'll be walking you guys through the specs and options of my Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo, but I'll also be including the complete build in the description box down below of my car. And I'm pretty sure once you click that link, you'll be, redirected to the Porsche site in your country, and you'll actually get the price in your currency and in your home market. Let me know if that is the case in, well, the comment section down below. And also at the end of the video, I'll be also, giving you guys a more of a budget-friendly build for colder climates and for warmer climates. So without further ado, this is the Taycan 4 Cross Turismo. So this is the base model, which has 380 horsepower off boost mode in normal driving, and it has like 472 or 76 horsepower on boost mode. Does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.1 seconds and has a top speed of like 220 kilometers an hour. It's not the fastest car. The car I had prior to this was the Audi e-tron GT, which is more comparable to the 4S. And the reason I didn't go for the 4S with this is, well, of course, it's more expensive. I think it's like 150,000 to 200,000 kroners more expensive, about 15 to 20,000 euros more expensive. And also, there was a longer wait. I wouldn't be able to get this car probably at this point yet. There will be more months of waiting for this car if I opted for the 4S. So the base price of this car here in Norway, this will be Norwegian pricing. That's why you can click that link down below and you can see the pricing in your country. So this starts at 868,000 kroners here in Norway. So it's quite well optioned out of the out of the dealership. You do get standard leather interior. You do get air suspension, you do get the bigger battery pack, you do get, LED headlights, navigation, and stuff like that. So it's pretty nicely equipped. But this being a Porsche, in my opinion, I had to get, some niceties that would make it, a more of a luxury car, which is why I chose some of these options. So the first option, which is a no-cost option, is the exterior color. White, just flat white. I do like flat white colors. I didn't, find it necessary to spend maybe like 10,000-15,000 kroners on a different white. I like, the just base white colors. And then the next option was the leather interior. They call it the leather interior. I call it the upgraded leather interior because this car comes standard with leather. That's leather on the seats. But this has the upgraded leather interior, which gives you leather on the doors, on the upper portion of the doors. It gives you leather on the middle portion and also on the door handles. It also gives you leather on the dashboard and also on the center console. And then it gives you leather on the airbag cover on the steering wheel. So it just elevates the luxurious feeling because it's beautiful stitched leather. And in my opinion, spending this much money on a car, this was worth the 35,900 kroner option, which is about 3,600 euros. And also the quality of leather is nicer. It's more smooth, and it also get this much nicer leather smell in this cabin, which is, well, in my opinion, was worth it. And then the next optional extra are black roof rails, and to get that you also have to get the panoramic sunroof. So the black roof rails are 5,700 kroners, and I think that goes really well with the exterior, well, details, which are black, and the car being white. I've ordered my past few cars in what I call Stormtrooper edition, white with black details. It's a little bit colder. I'm going to just turn up the temperature a little bit. So that you also have to, you can't get the roof rails without the panoramic sunroof, and that is 15,700 kroners, or about 1,570 euros. And then the next option are the electrical folding mirrors. Yeah, that's an option, 2,900 kroners. And then the next option, I really didn't want to get this, but when I spec'd the Porsche at the Porsche dealer in Bergen, these guys said, well, it's an optional extra, you have to pay for it, but cars that don't have this sell for a lot less than the cost of this optional extra, and that is the Sport Chrono at 10,900 kroner, so about 1,100 euros. And they told me that they had Taycans that would sit longer and would sell for like 40,000 kroners less because they were missing the, well, Sport Chrono package. So in my opinion, that's a no-brainer. It's nice to have the clock on the dashboard, but what's really nice with the Sport Chrono is the drive select mode on the steering wheel. In my Audi e-tron GT, you had to go into, well, just press the button on the touchscreen. Wasn't that easy. Here, you just turn a knob. So I'm in normal mode now. If we want to go to Sport Plus, it's just 2 times to the right. If we're going to go to range, it's 1 time to the left. So it's really easy to use, and yeah, in my opinion, it's worth the money, but it's not a necessity. And then the next option we have is Power Steering Plus, which gives you, you know, variable force of the steering wheel. Low speeds makes the steering lighter. At higher speeds, it makes it more heavy. Yes, this is a Porsche. That is an optional extra. And then we have the 21-inch Cross Turismo design rims, which I haven't had the pleasure to, well, have any pleasure of yet because, well, it's winter time. I'm on the 20-inch turbo winter wheels, which we're going to talk about later because that's also an option. But those 21-inch wheels, in my opinion, just makes the whole car. Those are 41,200 kroner, so about 4,100 euros. And then this car comes, you know, standard with the LED headlights, but I chose the Porsche Dynamic Light System, which just gives it more dynamic lights. I haven't been able to test that yet. That's 11,300 kroners. I think the Matrix were like 20,000 kroners more, about 2,000 euros more, 3 times the price. And now you're not actually able to option that on this car because, well, because of this chip, shortage in the world. That's not an optional extra. You can choose when you're speccing a Porsche, which is quite interesting. And then next we have the auto dimming exterior and interior mirrors, which would be standard on probably every other car, but on a Porsche you have to pay 4,600 kroners. And then we have darker glass from the B pillar and back privacy glass, 4,900 kroners. And then we have the park assistant all around with the backup camera. I did not go for the 360 camera. I wanted to, you know, save a little bit of money. The point with me speccing this car was to make it, you know, as easy to sell as possible because I wasn't planning on having it too long, but now I'm actually thinking of having it longer. So that is, oh, ignition went off. That is 6,600 kroners, and I think the 360 is about twice the price. And in my opinion, I think I would option that now, spending this much money, because the quality of the backup camera is not the best. This is also an issue I had with my e-tron GT, same backup camera, not the best. And then the next option, we have the Porsche InnoDrive, which gives you, you know, auto steer. In my opinion, it's worth all the money, 29,900 kroners, which is super expensive. But if you get the adaptive cruise control, which also is an option on Porsche, it's 17,000 kroners. So the difference is 13,000 kroners or 1,300 euros. So, I mean, spending this much money on a car, it's a small price to pay. And then the next option, you know, this is a long options list. We're going to get through to the how much options there are on this car and the final price because it's quite insane. Speccing a car, which in my opinion is necessary, like to get all of these options. The next is comfort access, you know, where you can have keyless entry into the cabin, where you just, you know, pull the door handle instead of, you know, pressing a button. That's 10,700 kroners, or about 1,100 euros. And then the 4+1 seat configuration, that's another 4,700 kroners. And then the ambient interior lighting is another 4,200 kroners. And then another option I added on later because, you know, I spec'd this car originally when I purchased it. If you haven't seen my the video where I actually purchased the car, link to that video in the description box down below. I optioned it, originally it was silver with a few different options, but I changed it. This is one of the things I changed later on, and that was the 18-way power sport seats, which are these beautiful seats here, which are the same seats I had in my e-tron GT, and they just look much more sporty, more befitting of this interior. In my opinion, I think these standard seats with, you know, the headrest that you can't adjust, that's just built in, looks a bit cheap. So, you know, spending all this money on this car, for me, it was worthwhile, you know, especially with the upgraded leather, to get these sports seats. And they are 18-way adjustable. You can adjust the side bolsters, you can adjust the bolsters on the cushion, you can adjust everything on this seat. So, and they're pretty comfortable also and look nice. And then on a Porsche, this is optional extra, heated front seats. Yes, you have to pay 20,000 kroners extra to get these seats, which are power operated and also with memory settings. But you have to pay 4,800 kroners for them to be heated. And then you have to pay 2,700 kroners to have the steering wheel heated. That's another option. And since I actually wanted the light colored interior, the crayon, because this was a car I wanted to, well, which would be easy to sell, I was advised to not get anything other than a black interior. Black interiors are not my favorite interiors, in my opinion. I like light colored interiors, but to, you know, have some pizzazz, I went for the crayon seat belts, which are these, which are 4,800 kroners. And another thing, I went for the white face or white dial on the chrono clock, which is another 3,400 kroners. And then we have some optional extras that, you know, are just, you know, almost mandatory, which are, you know, the net in the trunk, and also another thing, which isn't an actually expensive option, which I think is worth all the money, are the Porsche crest on the steering wheel, 2,200 kroners. And then in my e-tron GT, I just had the standard sound system. I wanted the upgraded sound system in this. The car I had prior to my e-tron GT was the Audi e-tron 55. And in that car, I had the upgraded Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is, yeah, kick-ass. So I went for the Bose surround sound system in this, which I think is worth the money. It's a very clean sounding sound system. I like it very much. 14,200 kroners, or about 1,400 euros. And then the last option is the heat pump at 8,300 kroners. So in total, I've written it down here because with the winter wheels, these turbo style winter wheels are 53,990. Total options in this car is 309,590. That is 31,000 euros, or 26,000 pounds, or $35,000 in optional extras to get this car up to a spec that I think is necessary. There's nothing crazy here. I went for the upgraded leather, you know, a few niceties, but 31,000 euros. That is insane. So total price of this car is 1,177,590, or about 118,000 euros. Yeah. So not cheap, but yeah, it's a really nice car. So guys, now I'm going to talk to you guys through how you can get this car a little bit cheaper. So this build will be linked in the description box down below, and this is for the colder climates. So you have the base price, 868,000 kroners, and what I've optioned for is the black roof railings and also the electric folding mirrors. I've optioned the blacked out logo on the deck lid. I didn't option that. I forgot to do that, so I did a delete at the dealer where they removed that, but I think it looks really nice when it's black against the white paint color. Also, Power Steering Plus, 20-inch Turbo S Aero wheels for summer and winter, and then the LED Porsche Dynamic LED light system. Of course, the panoramic sunroof, privacy glass from the B pillar and back, park assist with backup camera, inno drive with you know, adaptive cruise control, that lane centering, auto steer, comfort access, 4+1 seat configuration. Since we're going for the standard seats, you can option memory package for the driver with mirrors, 3,600 kroners. That's worth all the money. Ambient interior lighting, you know, the comfort seats, heated front seats, and then a heated steering wheel, and then lastly, heat pump. So I think this is the bare minimum of what you have to get on a Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo to be able to have a car that actually works. So the optional extras for this are 143,200 plus the winter wheels. So total 1,065,190 kroners. So it's about 110,000 kroners cheaper than mine, about 11,000 euros cheaper than mine. So it's up to you. Do you want to spend, you know, 107,000 euros on a car, which is, you know, the bare minimum, or do you want to spend 10,000 more euros to get, you know, a car that is nicely spec'd? That is what I did. I could still, you know, throw a few more options at this car if I was, you know, Knew I was going to keep it longer. But if you want to go for the spec, if you live, you know, in a warmer climate, I would delete the heated steering wheel. I would delete these heated seats and also the heat pump. And then you don't need the winter wheels either. So you're down to 1,003,000 kroner, or 100,000 euros flat. So then that makes a difference, because up to my spec of my car, it's almost 20,000 euros. So guys, let me know how you would spec your Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo in the comment section down below. And do you agree? Do you like my spec? Is there something you would do different? Of course, we all have personal preference. I do love the white exterior color, and I do like this black interior also, with, you know, the crayon seat belts and the white dial chrono clock. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.